2025 was another very frustrating year for LEGO DC superheroes. I don't know why I get my hopes up every year that LEGO is going to course correct with this theme. It's the same nonsense year in and year out. This theme might as well just be called LEGO Batman at this point because they hardly even acknowledge the other characters in DC Comics. That said, we did see the return of LEGO Superman this year in a mech set, but it still counts. And we also got our first ever LEGO DC Superheroes modular building, something I've been clamoring for the past few years, which provided a lot of very cool new minifigures. Because a solid amount of figures came with that Arkham Asylum set, I actually figured that I could incorporate DC superheroes into my end of year lists. However, there aren't quite enough sets to do a top 10 sets video, but minifigs? I can work with that. So without further ado, here are my picks for the top 10 best LEGO DC Superheroes minifigures of 2025. The one rule is extremely simple, it just has to be an official LEGO DC Superheroes minifigure released in 2025 that was brand new for 2025. I hope that makes sense. Now let's dive into the countdown. Number 10 is Robin from set number 76300 Arkham Asylum. This is the Damian Wayne rendition of Robin, a cool version of the character from DC Comics that I like quite a bit. I've always really had an affinity for this particular costume, and I also love the fact that LEGO gave him the mid-legs here. Mid-legs aren't really new to LEGO anymore. They introduced them as LEGO Harry Potter all the way back in 2018, but I feel like they've slowly rolled them out into more themes beyond just Harry Potter, and I like seeing them for different teenage characters like Damian Wayne. Additionally, his torso and face prints look great, and the cape is spectacular as well as some really good shaping for that cloth element. Overall, this just yielded a really spectacular Damian Wayne Robin minifig. Number 9, Superman from set number 76302 Superman Mech vs. Lex Luthor. 2025 was the year of Superman. Obviously, James Gunn kicked off the DCU in theaters with a brand new Superman movie, and LEGO gave us no sets from said film, which was really disappointing. However, like I mentioned in the intro of today's video, they did finally bring back Superman into the LEGO DC Superheroes fold with a $15 mech set that gave us a new version of LEGO Superman that looked pretty good. It's not the craziest figure I've ever seen, but just having a new Superman figure out on the market is enough to warrant a number 9 selection in today's list. Number 8, Harley Quinn from set number 76300 Arkham Asylum. A lot of the Arkham Asylum minifigures are rather repetitive because they all come in the same orange jumpsuit. People were not super happy about the choice. However, I didn't really care all too much because, well, they're supposed to be in Arkham Asylum. It makes sense they would be wearing matching jumpsuits. And here is Harley Quinn in the same matching jumpsuit. That being said, they added a little bit more flavor with her figure, I think, to really differentiate her. First off, you have the roller skates, which look great. I love that Harley Quinn hairpiece, but the face print, especially the double-sided face with the bubblegum popping expression, is just so much fun to me. And overall, this made for a very delightful looking LEGO Harley minifig. Number 7, Arkham Asylum statue from set number 76300 Arkham Asylum. I probably bet you weren't thinking this figure would make the list because you probably didn't even register this as a minifigure that came out in 2025 for LEGO DC Superheroes. This is the statue that adorns the entrance to the Arkham Asylum set. And yeah, it counts as a figure because it has a fantastic torso print and a fantastic face print that just look so cool to me. This was a great looking figure, and even though it is technically part of the build because it can be removed as its own standalone figure and is 100% exclusive to the new Arkham Asylum set with new prints, I think it counts and it looks really darn cool. Could have used maybe some printing on the bottom dress piece, but besides that, spectacular. Number 6, Batman Forever Batman from set number 76304 Batman Forever Batmobile. Before I say anything else, rest in peace Val Kilmer. What an absolute legend that man was. And this year was the 30th anniversary of Batman Forever. Not my personal favorite Batman movie, but I do have some odd childhood nostalgia attached to that film, and LEGO giving us a set to celebrate the 30th anniversary was a treat. The set was fantastic, and the Batman Forever Batman figure, while it definitely could have used some leg printing, was really cool otherwise. figure-wise and a fun suit for them to choose, although I kind of wish they picked the main suit from the film, but that's not really part of this video. As it stands, getting Val Kilmer's Batman here was awesome, and it definitely had to make my list. And now we're getting George Clooney's Batman next year too. Lego, you're finally completing all the live-action Batman. Thank you. Number 5, Two-Face from set number 76303, Batman Tumbler versus Two-Face and the Joker. Both the Batman and the Joker figures that came with this set were pretty solid. However, they were rehashes of characters we've gotten pretty recently, and honestly they look a little bit worse than some older versions, so I did not include them ultimately in today's video. That being said, this is the first time we've ever gotten Two-Face from The Dark Knight, played of course by Aaron Eckhart in the 2008 film, and besides the fact that this figure does not have any leg printing, which seems pretty ridiculous for Two-Face, everything else looks spectacular. The face print and that brand new hair mold, amazing. Absolutely perfect. Lego nailed that, and the torso print looks really darn good as well. So finally getting this character from the Dark Knight trilogy was a humongous win, and the figure itself was great, and honestly would have had a shot at number 1 if he just had some decent leg printing. Number 4, Catwoman from set number 76300, Arkham Asylum. Lego has made quite a few Catwoman figures throughout the years, and a lot of people complained about this one not including the helmet mold they made for Catwoman with the Lego Batman movie. And I understand that complaint, but I do think the way that Lego is making Catwoman figures currently actually works really well for this character. It gives it a more slender and sneaky appearance that fits Catwoman, if you ask me. Her face print was fantastic. She got leg printing, which is kind of rare, and the torso looked really good as well. This was just a very nice and very well-rounded Catwoman fig. Number 3, Poison Ivy from set number 76300, Arkham Asylum. Unfortunately, when we compare some of these villain characters to the Lego Batman movie versions of said characters, they look a lot worse, and Poison Ivy isn't as cool as that 2017 rendition. However, at the same time, I think this new Poison Ivy looks pretty spectacular. The printing is great. I think the color choice for her skin was fantastic, and I love that red hairpiece. This is still a really good Poison Ivy figure, and sure, it's not as good as that older rendition, but you know what? Not that many Lego minifigures are. This figure by itself, standing alone, is still really darn cool. Number 2, Batwing from set number 76300, Arkham Asylum. No, not the Batwing as in the vehicle, Batwing as in the DC Comics character. This is Luke Fox, the son of Lucius Fox, who you probably recognize as Morgan Freeman's character from the Dark Knight trilogy, and Lego gave us him for the first time ever in minifigure form from the Arkham Asylum set, and he couldn't have looked more slick. The printing here, head to toe, looks fantastic. The weird back attachment is kind of odd looking, but fitting when you compare it to the source material from the comics, and overall, this was just a fun, unique, and new character to get in the Arkham Asylum set, which was a massive W if you ask me. I also have a soft spot for any DC Comics character in what appears to be battle armor, which is kind of a hint at our number 1 figure, Lex Luthor from set number 76302, Superman Mech versus Lex Luthor. I was excited about the new Superman figure, but the new Lex figure is by far the best part of this set. Yeah, he reuses a face print Lego has been utilizing for over a decade now. That was definitely a bit lazy. However, besides that, everything about this Lex figure is perfect. I adore the torso and leg printing, and I love the transparent green shoulder attachment there. That was fabulous, man. Such a cool looking Lex Luthor figure, and the fact that he came in a $15 mech set was a huge treat. Sure, I do wish that they gave us something more substantive for Superman in 2025, but it's also nice to have a premium figure of this sort not locked behind a massive paywall. That was a huge, huge victory for Lego fans across the board. And that's why I'm pretty confident in saying the Lex Luthor figure from set number 76302, Superman Mech versus Lex Luthor, is the best Lego DC Superheroes minifigure of 2025. And there you have it, y'all. That's my list. What are your personal favorite figures from this past year for DC Superheroes? Let me know in the comments down below. And thank you all so much for tuning in to today's video. Have a fantastic rest of your day. Peace out. God bless. Bye-bye.